Every World Cup creates a villain. Sometimes it is a player, sometimes a coach, sometimes the whole tournament itself. Beckham in 1998, Byron Moreno in 2002, Materazzi in 2006, Suarez in 2010 and again in 2014, Neymar in 2018, Emiliano Martinez in 2022. In 2026 there are 48 teams, 104 games and more eyes on it than any World Cup before. The hate could land in 7 different places. The only question is who the world turns against first.
Look, I'll be honest, we're swamped. The World Cup hype is real and Goal90 Shop is officially at capacity. If you ordered this week, please bear with us for a 2-week processing delay. It's a good problem to have, but we are working around the clock to get your gear out. Thank you for your massive support.
1. Emiliano Martinez. Emi Martinez won the 2022 World Cup. He saved a penalty in the shootout against France. He lifted the trophy. He did everything a goalkeeper dreams of doing on the biggest night of his life. And somehow he still made half the world want to turn the TV off. The celebrations after the final were wild. His mockery of Mbappe became one of the most watched clips of the whole tournament. That image stuck. Then, separately, in 2024, FIFA banned him for bad behavior after incidents against Chile and Colombia. The ban proved what a lot of fans already felt. The trouble around Martinez does not stop when the game ends. It just moves to the next one. Now picture a penalty shootout. Argentina deep in the tournament. Martinez on his line doing the whole thing. The delay, the hands, the eye contact, the weight. The crowd is loud. The shooter is not. He saves one. Argentina go through it. People who were angry in 2022 will be angry again. He does not just win shootouts, he turns them into a show. And in 2026, if Argentina go far, the show travels with him. 2. Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr is not a bad guy. He is one of the best players in the world. He has won the Champions League with Real Madrid. He has spoken up about the racism he faces in Spanish football. There is a strong case that he was robbed of the Ballon d'Or. Football was too slow to back him up on most of it. But on the other side of it, his antics are always guaranteed to annoy the hell out of any opponent he faces. Dives, fights, taunts, and over-the-top celebrations in front of opposition fans. He walks off the pitch after a big win and the story becomes about him, not the game. Now picture Brazil in a quarter-final. Vinicius gets fouled in the box, no penalty. His arms go out, his face goes up. The camera locks on him. The clip is already being made before he has even walked back into place. Do that for 7 weeks and it never stops. A target and a villain look exactly the same on screen in the last few minutes of a knockout game. If Brazil are losing and Vinicius has one bad reaction at the wrong moment, the pile-on starts fast. People who do not like him will get louder. People who do like him will fight back. Something will definitely happen with him. 3. Thomas Tuchel. Every big tournament needs a manager neutral fans start to dislike before the last 8. In 2026, Thomas Tuchel has already done most of that work. Start with Jude Bellingham. After England's loss to Senegal in June 2025, Tuchel said Bellingham's edge can be a bit repulsive. He later apologised and admitted it was the wrong word. But in tournament football, that cycle of quote fallout and apology is exactly what gets dragged back up the second England lose. The apology does not kill the clip, it gives the clip a second life. Then there is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Tuchel dropped him, and the omission already had a story attached because Tuchel had said Trent relies heavily on his attacking play and did not focus enough on defensive discipline and effort. In England, once you question a player's effort out loud, half the country hears analysis and the other half hears disrespect. Then there is the press conference tone. He has already brushed off the noise from what he called millions of armchair managers, which is the sort of line that feels fine when results are good and gets replayed when they are not. England look flat, scrape through on a penalty, or worse, eliminated, and every old clip comes back at once. He will be cast as the man who took a gifted squad and made them harder and colder to watch than they needed to be. 4. Cristiano Ronaldo. 2026 will be his last World Cup. He has said so himself. That means every minute he plays carries a weight that could go either way. If he scores, the farewell story runs itself. Last chapter, greatest of his time, closing the book on the biggest stage. The internet backs him, whatever you think of him, because that is how sport works when the ending has already been announced. But there is another version. Portugal in the last 16. Game tight, Ronaldo quiet. Young players making runs into space, and the ball keeps coming back to his feet instead. The chances are going, the clock is going, Portugal lose. Nobody says it after the game, but the question stays there. Was he the problem nobody wanted to name out loud? That is the pressure a very public goodbye puts on everyone around you, and it does not go away. The next two have no face. That almost makes them harder to argue with. 5. The United States as host. The stadiums in 2026 are spread across a huge country. Fans may need to fly between group stage games. Tickets cost more than most traveling fans can afford. The whole setup is built for people who booked everything months in advance, not the fan who just turned up with a scarf and figured it out from there. Long queues at security, bag checks that feel less like safety and more like being pushed around, a seat that cost $400 in a section that was supposed to be neutral but does not feel like it. There are bigger concerns too. Amnesty has warned about human rights problems tied to the tournament. About 2,000 food workers at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles have said they will strike unless FIFA keeps ice away from World Cup matches there. All of it lands on the same match day. The United States is not automatically the villain in 2026, but all the pieces are there. All it takes is one bad day, a social media feed that picks it up, and the host becomes the story. And if the fan experience makes people angry, the next villain is already inside the stadium waiting. 6. VAR. This one is certain. VAR has been at big tournaments long enough that the anger is no longer about one bad call. It is about watching a goal go in, turning to the person next to you and then waiting. Staring at the referee standing still in the middle of the pitch, watching him touch his earpiece, waiting, still waiting. One goal ruled out, 1 3-minute stop, one moment where 70,000 people went silent and the referee pointed back to the center. That is all it takes. VAR becomes the villain every fan shares at the same time, in every country, in every language. No backstory needed, it just has to happen once, on the wrong night. VAR has no face, neither does the next one, but this one has a color. 7. The Argentina crowd takeover. Argentina bring one of the biggest and loudest traveling fan bases in world football. The blue and white fills parts of stadiums that are meant to be neutral. The noise starts before kickoff and does not stop. In Qatar, the Argentine fans were one of the biggest presences at the whole tournament. In 2026, on their own continent, it will be even bigger. There is already documented concern. Reports said 15,000 Argentine fans were set to be banned from Club World Cup matches because of crowd trouble and safety issues. That is a specific, reported problem that raises a fair question about what the atmosphere at Argentina games in 2026 could look like. Most Argentine fans travel because they love their team deeply. That part is real. But picture a neutral ground in the last 16. The other team's fans are in their seats, flags are up. Then the Argentine end fills, then the rows beside it, then the rows beside those. By kickoff, the ground does not feel neutral anymore, it feels taken. The fans from the other team look around, they are outnumbered, and the game has not even kicked off. The World Cup does not just find its villains, it makes them. Beckham was not a villain before the red card. 1 second on the biggest stage in the world and the whole story was written. In 2026, the machine is bigger, faster, and louder than ever. It does not need much, it never has. Someone on this list is about to find that out. So who do you think the world turns against first? Drop your pick in the comments, like, subscribe, and watch the next video.